Welcome back to the Lawkward Chronicles. My name is Larissa, and today we have our June monthly reading wrap-up. Let's just get right into it. This last month, June, that's what I'm trying to say. In June, I read 8 books. Yay! I'm very happy with that number. It's still a lot more than I was expecting, and I love that for me. My goal this month was to read 5 because of all the things that were going on. I had a few weddings to go to. I went to Taylor Swift in Minneapolis night 2, where she played Dear John and Daylight. Such a big win. It was the best experience of my life. Am I experiencing the Taylor Swift amnesia? Yes, I am. I would love to go again, but obviously tickets are so difficult. And the only reason I got them the last time was because I spent 8 hours on Ticketmaster on that fateful day. You're here for the reading wrap up, as am I. So here we go. In no particular order, let's just go with this one. I read Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. This is a companion novel to Part of Your World. This is a workplace romance, and it's about 2 ER doctors, and Jacob has severe anxiety, and it was really cool to kind of see how that played out in the novel itself. And instead of it being one of those, let's see if we can fix you, it was more of a story about acceptance with his anxiety. Brianna, she never tried to change him. She worked with him and like understood his anxiety, which I thought was absolutely beautiful. And Brianna is a divorced woman. You know, she's been kind of down on her luck. She feels kind of stuck and things aren't going her way. And yeah, it started out kind of like an enemies, but then they became friends, and then it was like fake dating, and it was a good time. It was very cute. Not my favorite trope at the end, but I mean, it worked. It wasn't like horrible, but it was just kind of annoying. Also, the dog was so cute, and I love this. This was such a good time. You don't technically need to read Part of Your World prior to this, but I would recommend reading it just because some things do pop up that kind of fill in the blanks, but you don't necessarily have to read Part of Your World to read Yours Truly. I think it adds to the story, yes, but it doesn't take away. Continuing on with the companion novels, and that would be The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. This is the companion novel to I was just about to say the same title. Where is it? Oh, it's so good. Nope, that's a thriller. The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. And this one follows Felicity, or Fizzy Chen. She is a romance author, and there's very good discussion about how people look down upon the romance genre and how it's not taken seriously as a genre, even though it is the best-selling genre. There's a lot of good discussion about it and about people not taking it seriously, when in fact it is. Like, it's still a job. It's not some fluffy, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so this is about Fizzy, and she is approached by Connor Prince, who is a producer, documentary filmmaker. He's a single father. I mean, it's co-parenting, and I think it's represented very well on how to co-parent and like what a healthy co-parenting relationship did. So Connor approaches Fizzy to do a reality dating show using the app that's in The Soulmate Equation. Why am I blanking on it? Because it sounds so cool. DNA something. Anyway, it's this dating app that uses your DNA to match you with different levels, like a gold match, a platinum, that kind of thing, like diamond match, who you're most compatible with. It's a cool concept on the dating reality show. Anyway, but her and Connor have some sparks fly, and it just kind of takes you through their friendship and like how that blossoms, as well as trying to keep it professional, as well as her trying to get her writer's block mojo through. Like, she is struggling to write. She just needs a little bit of inspiration, and so she's hoping that this will get her riz back. And I loved it. It was just so fun. Both of these, same energy. It's just fun, lighthearted stuff with other serious topics in them, but I go there for the good time, and they always give me a good time. Let's go with our book club pick of the month, the Lawkward Chronicles Book Club. And we read The Hotel Nantucket by Ellen Hildebrand. I have a reading vlog. I have a reading vlog on these two as well, but I have a reading vlog and a book club episode on this one, so you can see more of my thoughts and any book club discussion. But this was my first Ellen Hildebrand. She is known as the Queen of Beach Reads. I did enjoy this one. It was a lot of fun. It is about the Hotel Nantucket, and there is a ghost there haunting the place. The workers and the guests all kind of have sketchy pasts, and Lisbeth is fresh off a breakup from a really long time partner, and she is looking to start fresh in Nantucket. Well, like, she's lived in Nantucket, but her ex runs a bar restaurant, and she's like, well, peace out, Boy Scout, and goes over to the Hotel Nantucket to see if that is the fresh start she needs. It is owned by this billionaire Xavier Darling, who has never stepped foot in Nantucket, and he buys it, refurnishes it, like does the whole remodeling on it. He really wants to impress two women, and one of them is Shelley Carpenter, who is a blog person that gives hotels different ratings and versions of keys, and he wants five keys, which has never been given by Shelley Carpenter. And so they're really hoping that it will happen with them. And Grace Hadley is the ghost that haunts the place, and that's what I thought we were going to get more of. I loved her POVs. I thought it was going to be more focused on the ghost story of it, and she was in there a little bit, but not as much emphasis as I thought it was going to be. But it also goes through other workers in the hotel and their drama, and everybody has a dirty little secret, and it's fun. It's a good time. It's a fun beach read. So I would recommend it. Yeah, good time. Next up, let's just do this one. I read On the Way to the Wedding, Gregory's story. This is the last book in the original Bridgerton series. It feels so good to be done. I started this over a year ago and burned out hard on it. I really enjoyed the first 3 books of it, and the other ones were mid, and then this one was a little bit better. I did enjoy this one. This is Gregory's story, Friends to Lovers. It's cheesy, it's cute, it's nothing too serious, but yeah, it's more of a Friends to Lovers. I don't want to give it away, but it opens up with Gregory running into a wedding, trying to stop whoever it is that's getting married because he's in love with her. And then next, I listened to Finley, Donovan is Killing It, and what a delightful, fun time. I loved the audiobook. I listened to it during my commute, and it was just so fun. I thought it was so funny and just outrageous on how she continued to get herself into these situations, and it was just such a delightful listen, read, whatever you want to call it. And Finley is a thriller author, like a cozy thriller author, and she is overheard with her literary agent discussing her new book, using terms that sounds like a hit woman. Anyway, this woman sitting next to him thinks she is a hit woman, gives her their number, and wants her to kill her husband. It takes you through this whole thing about her like, oh, should I, shouldn't I? And then just things unfold. It's so funny. It's just everything that continues to unfold and happen to her is just like, this can't be real. I mean, obviously it's not real, but like, it's plausible. It's just, it's a good time. I really enjoyed it. I am excited to listen to the second and the third eventually when they become available in my library. And then next I read The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. This is just a very cozy read. It's about Linus Baker, who is he goes and assesses different magical orphanages and seeing if they're in good living conditions and if the kids are being treated correctly and all of that stuff, and decides if the orphanage should or shouldn't be disbanded. He is assigned to this really high profile orphanage to go and check on it and see what's happening, because there are some very dangerous and extremely dangerous children that reside there. One of them is rumored to be the Antichrist, and that is Lucy. And then also like all the other, it's kind of a misfit orphanage where they're very powerful, just kind of out of the woodwork kind of kiddos that reside there. He just has a good old time. Like, things are run differently out there and it's very cozy. I would say it's very atmospheric. I absolutely adored it. It was just, it was cute, whimsical, a good time. And then, oh my gosh, you guys, we're getting there. Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. Oh my gosh. The most slow burn series I think I've ever read, but this one, finally, we are getting the couplings, we are getting the meat of the romance portion of this fantasy romance, and it took so long. And this one is so freaking good. I am obsessed with this one. So much happened. It's a thick, but so much happens in this. It is part of the Throne of Glass series. It is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Did I count that correctly? Yeah, 6 in the Throne of Glass series. And wow. It really, like, every book continues to pick up and get really action-packed, and no different. This one is even more action-packed, but we actually get some romance in this with a bunch of characters, and it's so exciting, and I love it so much. So I'm happy, I'm so excited to continue on with the series, but also very sad that I am closing in on finishing it up. But then I'll just head over to the Crescent City series is what I'm trying to say. The last book that I read in June is my reread of the month, and that is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I am going back and rereading some of my favorite books and annotating them, underlining, writing in the margins, highlighting, all of that good stuff. And Love and Other Words is that book for me this month, and it was still such a fun read, so delightful. I did have an unfortunate incident where I took this into the lake and my swimsuit was wet, and the front page really crinkled, but it adds to the crinkly look of the paper on there anyway. But this is a second chance romance, childhood friends to lovers romance between Macy and Elliot. And Macy, her mother passes away when she is younger from cancer, and her dad has a list of things that her mom left behind for her to do, like to instruct how to raise her, just so she had a say in it as well. And one of the things was to bring Macy somewhere when she is tired and life is getting really difficult and she's exhausted from school, somewhere where she can recharge. And her dad takes this literally and buys a little tiny cabin up in the woods north of San Francisco. And right next door is Elliot. And Elliot and Macy bond with reading. They read in her little library in her closet, which sounds so cool, so cozy. And their love kind of grows from there. But then something happens and they don't communicate for 11 years until Macy stumbles across Elliot in a coffee shop. Elliot is just best book boyfriend. He does some crazy, wild, outlandish things, but like, I love that guy. Oh, what a heart of gold. And it's so very sad as to like what happens that leads up to it, but this book, oh, it's a past and present timeline with the POV of Macy, whereas Christina Lauren typically does POVs between our hero and heroine characters, and this is the only one that I've read that they haven't done that. It's more past present, and this is just like, I think, their top book that they've ever written. I've read quite a few of them. They're all up there, but I've read quite a few of their backlist, and this one is just top tier. I absolutely love this book with my whole heart. Love and Other Words. It's just beautiful, wonderful, lovely, cute, fun, heartbreaking. I just love it so much. And yeah, I wanted to reread this one mainly because last June I went to Oregon, so Portland, Oregon, and I bought this at Powell's bookstore. And so now it will always be like a June fun time read for me because that's when I read it and I devoured it so quickly. I will say it is set mainly in October, so it would also be a good fall read for people. So just so you are aware, if you do want to pick it up for fall vibes, I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's San Francisco, so it's going to be a little bit warmer anyway. But yeah, it's always going to like resonate with that trip for me, and I wanted to reread it in June for that reason alone. These, plus the audiobook are the 8 books that I read. Just a good reading month. Overall, my rating for the month was a 4, which is very, very good. The next video up is going to be my mid-year freakout tag, along with some stats about how we're doing this year. Let me know down in the comments below what books you read, or if you read any of these books this month. I would love to hear it, or what you're currently reading. Please let a girl know. And with that being said, respect others, respect yourself, and do something amazing with your day. Thanks, bye.